Okay, so our topic for today is building at end compartments. But first, let me bring you to or refresh you to with our previous topic. So we go to the advanced stream and stability. So it is the balancing physical equilibrium and daily operations. So for physical equilibrium, it's about the resistance to rolling. You know what is rolling, right? It's the turning of the vessel, either port or starboard. Resistance to pitching, meaning your forward and your aft is having an axis or a changing axis or a moving axis, whether it's trimmed by the head or trimmed by the stern due to the heavy waves, bigger waves, or swells encountered by the vessel due to the external factors. And of course, the upright posture, meaning if it's upright, it refers even keel or you don't have any lease or heel. For vessel operations, you will encounter loading and loading or discharging, your weight shifting or your balancing or transfer of weights, your ballast, your cargo, or whatsoever. Your ballast management, it refers to the ballasting and then the deballasting operations. Also, for ballasting and deballasting, you might encounter what do you call this? The sequential method and then the flow through method during the ballast water exchange. Okay, that is the other thing. When you say sequential, meaning 100% will be emptied and then later on it will be loaded with ballast. For flow through, you just have to pump it in. Ibig sabihin, dire-diretso yung bomba mo for 300% of the total volume of the ballast compartment. For example, ang volume ng ballast tank mo is 3,000 cubic meters, you have to pump in 9,000 cubic meters. Flow through kasi tuloy-tuloy siya, you have to open the hatches, the ballast hatches for it to pump out naman. So pump in ka from your pump, double pump, bottom pumps, and then pump out siya sa labas. Okay? For the stability metrics, of course, the measurement, initial measurement is, of course, your metacentric height, your GM, and your trim, and then followed by your list. There are two forces of naval architecture. One is internal, one is external. Internal means it is where the combined weight of the ship, machinery, and cargo acts vertically downwards. So that will be your gravity. For external displacement or buoyant force, it's the upward force equal to the weight of the water displaced by the submerged hull. That is what? According to Archimedes. You know what is Archimedes principle? I think you have encountered it in your first year. Right? Mapping the center of gravity shown there on the slide are three pictures. Letter A showing the center of gravity is located in the midships. So you have a low midships, but it's in the lower part, meaning you have a low kg. It is showing increased stability. Okay? Because you have a bigger GM naman. The measurement from your G to M is big. For letter B, the center of gravity is located normally. It's above the, what do you call it? Wherever the weight of the vessel, it is where the G is located. Meaning you have a high KJ. When you have a high KJ, you have a lesser GM. Kasi nga, lumapit na si gravity. And lastly, for the letter C, you have a transverse shift. Okay, when you say transverse shift, the gravity is located not along the center line of the vessel, but on the side of the vessel. So your gravity is located on this picture is on the starboard. Therefore, your gravity is located also on the starboard side of the vessel. G always moves in the exact direction of the weight shift. Its position dictates resistance to rolling, pitching, and capsizing. So the dynamic center of buoyancy, it is the centroid. Okay, we all know that. It's the centroid of the ship's underwater volume. So, shown there, upright position, the B is aligned with the metacenter. On the starboard side picture, it is heeled 15 degrees to starboard. Then you have your B1. If you remember, I've taught you, or probably in your prelims, it was Chip Regacho, I don't know, the BB1. So as the ship heels, trims, or rolls, the submerged shape changes and B instantly shifts towards the side with a greater submerged volume. Okay? So that is your buoyancy. Now we go to the restoring moment. Okay? And also the meta center. Stability rule: for a ship to be inherently stable, G must practically or properly be positioned relative to the B and below the M. There is what you call your GZ, or your writing arm. Okay? And also, there is your B, your buoyancy. It is still aligned with your meta center, but right now you have your Z, your GZ. So, metacentric height, or GM, it's the distance between G and M, and it determines the strength of the restoring moment. So that is the distance between G and M. It determines the restoring moment. So yung GM pala yun, no? It defines the restoring moment, and also it defines the stability calculation. Showing here is a table, or a comparison table for transverse and longitudinal stability. We have the axis, or the motion, the governing metric, the effect of shift, the consequences, and then also the primary, or the risk involved. So for transverse, when it's rolling or side to side, that is for the axis or the motion of the vessel. The metrics, or the measurement, of course, it is your metacentric height, or your GM. The effect of shift, it's the center of gravity moves either to port or starboard because it's transverse. For consequences, then therefore you might have a least, or a big least, or of course a reduced stability. The risk is capsizing. For longitudinal, of course, you will pitch and you'll have a trim, either trim by the head or trim by the stern. Measurement, it's instead of GM, it will be your GML, or longitudinal metacentric height. Okay, typically it's larger. The effect of shift, the center of gravity shifts fore and aft, altering the longitudinal center of gravity. Consequences, there will be change in draft, either by the bow or forward, or by the stern or aft. Then again, the risk, it's not capsizing, but probably grounding, and also what I've taught you earlier weeks, it's the propeller immersion issue, or the propeller racing. Imagine your vessel is on nav full, and then suddenly, because of big waves or swells, your vessel is trimmed by the head and your propeller rises. So what will happen with your engine? It will damage your shaft, your engine. Then there will be propeller racing. So the free surface effect. For solid cargo, G remains fixed because G will always be there. It doesn't move if it's properly secured or lashed. GM remains stable. But for liquid, yes, you will suffer free surface because G is drag off center. It is drastically reduced. As the ship rolls, liquids or loose grain shift in slack tanks. This continuous movement drags the center of gravity further off center, drastically reducing the metacentric height. So slack liquid act as stability amplifiers, turning a safe roll into a crucial loss of metacentric height. The difference between heel and least, of course, heel is external, least is internal. It's a temporary tilt caused by external environmental forces, caused by winds, waves, tides, swells, etc., or even low pressure areas. For least, it's internal. Ballast, cargo, or shift of weights, or your ballast transfer or cargo transfer. So the least diagnostic matrix. You will suffer least if there will be a cargo shift or an uneven loading. Loose cargo, moves during navigation. Uneven ballast distribution, asymmetrical liquid weight in ballast tanks. Okay? Asymmetrical, meaning they are not wrapped in a good symmetry. Structural damage or flooding. Probably you'll have a crack or a pinhole or a hole uh, causing a water ingress to the ballast tanks. Okay? When you have structural damage. Free surface effect or the FFE, liquid movement slack tanks amplifies tilt. Okay? There will be tilting. So permanent lease creates severe operational challenges. Reduced transverse stability, structural strain, disrupted cargo operations, and extreme capsize vulnerability. How to countermeasure those? First, identify and secure. Identify the cause, lash, and secure all loose cargoes to prevent secondary ships. For tankers, they don't need to be lashed. Okay, they need to be closed. All the valves, the hatches, the cargo tank lids, everything. For containers, yes, they should be lashed. For bulk carriers, there will be an angle of repose. You just have to close the cargo hatches. General cargo, yes, nandyan din yun. No? Uh, Step 2, rebalance the weight. How would you rebalance weight? Do not just immediately rebalance the weight. You have to calculate first. Go to your lubricator, calculate before you rebalance. Kasi probably you will have suffer you might suffer a lesser GM. So therefore, you must calculate first. Kaya kayo tinuturuan na ng ganito. But it's not training you using a lubricator because it's not part of your curriculum. That will be advanced in a managerial level. For you, gentlemen and ladies, it's about the officers idea lang, no? Hanggang dun lang. So rebalance weight, move cargo or transfer ballast water from the heavier side to the lighter side. Okay? Step 3, address the slack tanks. Why? Of course, the free surface. Empty or top off slack tanks to entirely eliminate the free surface effect. Lastly, number 4, manage the flooding. Pump out ingress water or execute controlled counter flooding in extreme expert guided scenarios. When you say expert guided scenarios, who will be advising? It's the classification society. So nangyayari to when there is a damage of your vessel and you have to do those things, recalculation, addressing those slack tanks, managing the flooding, no? Kasi it's not as simple as doing it. Probably kasi you will suffer more or your damage might be increased because of doing further or adding weights or transferring this and that. That's why the expert guided or the naval architects or even the engineers should be advising you on board if you suffer like a damaged compartment. So that's how you correct a lease with a damaged compartment. Synthesis equation for stability. There's what you call the cargo planning, even weight distribution, adhering to the loading manual. On board ship, there's a typical or ship specific. When you say ship specific, naka-dedicate yung manual na yon, yung cargo loading manual na yon. Sa barko lang na yon. It doesn't apply to other ships. You call it the cargo loading manual. Securing lashing, preventing dynamic shifts during transit. Okay? During the navigation. Calculations using stability computers. When you say stability computers, that is your lubricator to pre-compute GM and your draft. Prevention dictates equilibrium by actively managing weight distribution before sailing. The crew directly controls the center of gravity, ensuring it remains safely below the metacenter at all times. Kailangan lagi nasa baba si center of gravity to safeguard the vessel against leaks, poor trim, and capsizing. Excuse me. are the formula. Okay? Formula is step 1. These are the step-by-step guide for calculating bilging at end compartments. So for example, it is your collision bulkhead. Therefore, first, number 1, solve for the volume. It's a capital letter victory, volume. Length of the vessel times breadth of the vessel times draft equal to, of course, cubic meter yung unit. Number 2, initial displacement. Length times breadth times draft times RD. Okay. RD is the relative density. It is where the vessel is floating. Okay? Probably brackish, seawater, or fresh water. So you will get your initial displacement. Sinkage or your increase in draft. Okay, there will be an increase in draft if there will be a damaged compartment. Therefore, formula is the volume of the compartment, small letter L times breadth times draft, times permeability. The U1 is the permeability over the water plane area. When you say water plane area, it is the length and then the breadth. Just simply multiply it. So that is the formula for sinkage. Trimming moment. For trimming moment, step number 4, normally that is weight times distance. That is what I have taught you. I don't know. It's the weight times distance. This time around, please write it down in your record book. All hands, displacement times BBH. Okay? Your shift of buoyancy horizontally. That is your BBH, or shift of buoyancy horizontally. Then number 5 is the MCTC. MCTC, that is displacement times GML, or the longitudinal metacentric height, over 100 times length between perpendiculars, or your length overall. Okay? I think you know that already. GML stands for longitudinal metacentric height. Number 6. Your KB2. So your new draft, that is your D, divide it by 2. New draft, when you say new draft, initial draft plus your sinkage, then that will be already your D2. Then divide it by 2. So you will get your KB. Gentlemen and ladies, cadets, no? On step number 5, showing on the slide, there is the GML, your metacentric height, longitudinal metacentric height. You have to compute it first before you can solve this step number 5. Understood? Meaning to say, you will skip number 5. You will go back to this. So first, after trimming moment, skip a space on your calculation or in your record book later for the MCTC. And then compute KB2, your number 6, and then go to, of course, KB followed by BM. Okay? Bilge BM, or longitudinal metacentric radius naman. So since it is longitudinal siya kasi it is the end compartments. Forward compartment or your aft compartment. Kaya ang naka-cube dyan is the length cube. Directly proportional to breadth, inversely proportional to a constant of 12 times the volume of the vessel. So that is your BML. So kung makikita nyo, I have an arrow here, length cube yan. So I think you already know how to transpose. Kaya siya magiging, I think, L2 over 12 kasi makakancel na yung length and then also the breadth. Okay? Then 12 times draft na lang. So, just follow this main formula or pwede rin gawin nyo, i-transpose nyo lang, wala rin namang problema. Parehas lang yung resulta or kalalabasan. So, KB2 plus your BML here, your number 7, you will get your longitudinal KM. After you compute for your longitudinal KM, apply your given KG, given ito, simply subtract it, you will get now your GML. Saka ka bumalik ng number 5. Solving for MCTC kasi meron ka ng GML. Meron ka na rin ito before. Yung displacement, the constant 100, and then the length overall. So, na-solve mo na si number 5. So, we're done with step 8. Also number 5, go to number 9. Your change of trim or T over M. Trimming moment over MCTC. Okay? Trimming moment over MCTC. Number 10, that is your longitudinal center of flotation. Do you still remember what is LCF? Later on, if on the given problem, I want you to draw a box shape or a rectangular shape vessel. Draw all its given, like length, breadth, draft, and also the compartments particulars. Ibig sabihin yung nabaha. Length ng compartment ng nabaha, and also the breadth, and then the draft. And then, I want you to analyze, nasaan yung letter I? Normally, if it's not indicated on the problem, that will be included in the midships. For example, 60 yung length of the vessel, your midships will be where? It is in the 30, correct? And then 30 F, a total of 60 yung length ng vessel mo. What about the length of the compartment? Let's say, for example, 6 meters ang length ng compartment. So, middle ng 6 meters is 3. So, therefore, your LCF will become 27. Kasi 30 minus 3, then that will be 27. You will get the middle of the 6 meters na length. And also, you have to subtract yung 30 meters from 60, since midship yung center of flotation or your label F, then measure it, that will be from the 0 midships going to the midship of the length of the compartment. So that is 3. So 30 minus 3, 27. Then number 11 is your change of draft F. That is simply what? Your ILC. I over length overall, or your length between perpendiculars times your change of trim. Dito, COT times LCF or over LBP, parehas lang ang formula na yon. Okay? ILC, or use this formula, whatever, it is still the same. Your change of draft F. Number 12, your cod F. Simply subtract change of trim minus your coda. Okay? You'll get your cod F. And then finally, or lastly, your table. Lagay mo lang dyan your build stream or your new drafts. Since ang initial draft mo ay 4 meters, even kill, 4 in the forward and 4 in the aft, but your sinkage is 0.444, then that will become 4.444. Even kill pa rin. Apply your change of trim, forward and aft. Saan ba yung binaha? Or na bilge? Saan located? Saan located, class? It's located in the forward, correct? That is why on this table, it is plus 1.782, for example. And since ang collision bulkhead mo yung na-flat or na-bilge, plus ka sa proa na draft and minus ka sa pupa. Then you will get your new draft 6.226 forward and 2.986 sa aft. Dahil sa barko, dapat riskarte ka.